Okay, so I figured it's been a while since I gave anybody an update to Tom's condition, at least in video form. I've been responding to comments that I get all the time, but so I finally decided to let you know about Tom's progress or lack thereof. Um, that's mainly the reason I haven't done a video. Um, as you remember, the last time I saw him, or the last time I did a video, in August of 2017, he had begun to speak in short sentences. That's not the case anymore. And I didn't realize that at first when I went to go see him. I brought a laptop to see if I could get him to compose. And because someone had told me that they had mentioned to Tom that about the musical palette that I had made when he'd first come out of the coma in 2016. That where he could point to things because he couldn't even move his eyes yet at that point. And he seemed interested in the idea of composing again. And so I mentioned that to him when I saw him, and he went, he gave a thumbs up with his right hand, which is something he couldn't do. So that's one improvement he's made. And so I said I had a computer with me, and where could we go to try it out? And he led me to the rear exit of the building. He's probably messing around. Tom does that a lot. And we ran around toward the front entrance, and one of the other residents of the nursing home said, "Oh, there's Tom. He's a great piano player." Tom's kind of a minor celebrity there now, I guess. So anyway, I got to a table, and I set up the computer, and as the computer was booting up, I started to talk to him because I noticed that he hadn't been saying much of anything. Well, actually, I think first I showed him the left-hand part for a foxtrot idea that I had come up with, and when he saw it, the sheet music, he started like hand playing it, in air playing it. So I mentioned, I saw that he could do thumbs up. He can extend his finger now with his right hand, and he grinned as he did this with his left hand. So he's happy about how much he can move his left hand. And I heard from people who had visited him that he does play chords and scales and so forth. But he hadn't been talking. Instead of just giving thumbs up, I would have expected him to say, I like it, or cool, or or something along those lines, or very nice. These things that he was saying a year before. And so I said, you're not speaking. Aren't you still getting speech therapy? And he said, no. Which I thought was strange. I said, don't you think it was helping? And he said, yes. And so I said, do you think you should still be getting speech therapy? And he said, yes. Why he's not getting speech therapy remains a mystery. Cynical people have begun to wonder if maybe it's a deliberate attempt to keep him from being able to speak so that he can't be in charge of his own affairs. People have been voicing that concern on the family's blog, and the family's response has been to delete the comments and say that they're the victims of bullying. So read into that what you will as to why Tom's not getting any speech therapy. He also said, I asked him if he'd been up on his feet again because they'd had him take a few steps in 2017, and he said no. So he hasn't been getting any physical therapy either. It's important to remember that Tom is not in a rehab facility. He's just in a nursing home. He's just being put away in a nursing home. But anyway, I had Sibelius open on the laptop, and I said, well, Tom, you can, I hoped he could still say letters at least. I said, can you just tell me what you want me to put on the sheet music? Maybe we can get a lead sheet together. He said, no. He said, oh, you want to be able to do it yourself? And he said, yes. And I said, well, let's see. Can you use the mouse? So I had a large mouse connected to the laptop. We know he can play chords and things with his left hand. and arpeggios and so forth, but he's never been able to type on a keyboard. He just mashes the keys, and he did the same thing with the computer mouse, just mash, and he starts giggling the whole time he does it, so he starts laughing. And the mouse even turned in his hand and beep, and every time the computer would beep or, it switched to guitar chords instead of note entry, he started cracking up even more. And that just went on for minutes. I mean, just constantly bash, and giggling the whole time. Now, people with brain injuries sometimes will laugh or giggle when they don't intend to, when they are experiencing some other emotion. So I don't know what's going on there, but there's definitely a disconnect between being able to use the fingers and being able to manipulate objects. He can't hold a pen or anything, so that's unfortunate. But he can move things around. He had previously moved letters around on a board to spell words and so forth. And so I came up with the idea that can we have a big staff on a table? This was in a later meeting in November. I suggested it to him. How about a big staff on a table with movable note heads and dots and accidentals and so forth? And he's like, yes. I said, then somebody could write that down, and you could continue, do a couple measures at a time. He said, yes. I said, you'd be okay with that, with someone else writing it down for you? And like, yes. So that seems like a really good thing that we could do to get Tom to be able to compose again. But I can't build something like that. I'm terrible with building things. But if any of you out there are good with building, like making pieces of acrylic and note heads, there are some on the market that are like that, but they're for kids or for music students. They're very simple. They're not like able to do stuff like that, like the way the music that Tom writes. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to have beams, but but it would need to have a lot of tie symbols and a lot of accidentals and dots and so forth that would allow Tom to get some ideas down. If anybody has an idea or is able to build something like that, that would be great. That's pretty much where Tom stands now. I asked Tom back in that first meeting, if you had a laptop there to use every day, do you think you could start figuring out how to use the mouse? He's like, yes. And I said, well, the problem is that if we leave a laptop there, most likely your family will take it home with them and not let you keep it to use it every day. And he went, yeah. So, and it was even mentioned to somebody about how some people are thinking that maybe they don't want him to learn to speak, and he didn't seem to deny that was a possibility. He seemed more like frustrated. He went, So that's why people are getting really upset with his family. Maybe there's another reason why he's not getting speech therapy, but he certainly wants speech therapy and needs it. I thought this would go on longer, but that's pretty much where Tom is now. Not really improvement to speak of, other than being able to do that. But otherwise, he's lost the ability to speak over the past year. Speaking of speech, I'm a natural stutterer, so speaking for me is very difficult. So I'm really concentrating here, trying not to stutter as I speak on the camera. So hopefully that is enough of an update. I know it's been a year and a half since I last did an update, but the reason why is there just hasn't been much to report. Julia does go to visit Tom almost every week, and she posts updates also on her Facebook page. So it's a much more detailed information on how Tom's doing than you get from any other source. But I know a lot of you, I'm the only contact you have with Tom, so hopefully that will satisfy for now.